don't know why the settings are always weird. Anyway, hello for whenever people show up. This is mostly for the playback, so I'm just like awkwardly sitting here for the beginning of it. Surprise, though. We'll see if anyone's hanging out. I know it's weird timing on my part. Look, I don't choose when the subscribers numbers goes up. Okay? I'm just here to have fun and enjoy. Wait and see. It's always so awkward. Oh, hello. There are people. Hello. Hi. I always feel so awkward at the beginning of live streams. I don't know what to do with myself. I'm always just like awkwardly sitting. Hi, yes! I got to I got to 8,000 subs. I woke up to it. Which is nice. It's great. I love it. I don't really have anything planned though. I thought about it, but I've just had lots of other stuff going on. So I didn't really have any plans. And then today I was like, we have some severe storms that are coming. So I'm like, if I'm gonna do any kind of live or hangout, I'm gonna have to do it now before before the weather makes me kind of batten down the hatches for a little bit. Still remember the first Bleach reaction. What a time ago that was. That was some time before we got here. But that's okay. Hey, I like the slow, steady growth. You know, every time I get some kind of like spike in growth on the channel, it freaks me out a little bit. Not gonna lie, because I don't need a spike in attention. I need like a steady growth. Predictable growth is what I like. So that's where I'm comfortable. So, oh hello. Hi to the UK watching. Hi. Just hanging out for a bit. I'm actually like uploading some stuff. Some of it's Patreon stuff, some of it's for the channel because I just thought, wow, I'm sitting here having to just like wait for stuff. I might as well do a little hangout because we got to 8K. Woo! My first Twice reaction, that was also like a minute ago. It's been a while. Bit of a different vibe. That was back, I was still in the pink room, wasn't I? I still see it like this is like my like new place. And I'm like, I've been here for like a hot minute. Thank you for all the congratulations. Woo! I mean, it's mostly you guys. Like I should be congratulating you guys for all coming together because I don't know really what I did in this participation, right? Like I just sort of was having fun and y'all decided to hang out. So I'm very grateful for that. I have a lot of fun. So it's always nice. Especially like recently. I feel like the channel has just been doing really well. Recently, like we've hit a little like we've like hit a little growth spurt and I appreciate that. Oh my gosh, you've watched the guide with me so many times. That's such a long video. Thank you for the commitment. The British Blink, hi. Thank you for all the commitment on that one. Oh, Christopher, you started when I have Tower of God? Yep. It's been a while for that too. I'm getting there. I'm going through some of the important stuff that's happened on that one. I didn't age a day. I don't know about that. I feel like I sometimes people will leave comments on like one of my older videos and like to reply, sometimes like the video will like start playing and I like see myself and hear myself. I'm like, oh my God. No thanks. What about my what about an Adam's apple? What are we talking about? What's huh? Uh yes. I love hearing like where people are at. Like we got like Bleach, we got Tower of God, we got Twice, we got Dreamcatcher. I like that we're all just kind of hanging out, right? Like we all like different interests and have all just kind of come together with our like weird over analysts analytic brains of media and I appreciate that I'm like not on my own on that one. Part of the reason I made my channel is that I'm like I need this is how I think. This is how I go through media is with this like fine-tooth comb. And I'm like I need to find more people that aren't like my friends because they're tired of me talking about these stuff. When I wear headphones, I look more mature. The cat ear ones? That makes me look more mature? I don't know about that one. Uh, do I do any Mamamoo? No, I have not. I don't know really anything about them except I guess I did the one song that had Wien. Um, what like the Christmassy song collab things. But that's I think like the closest I've gotten. I know of them. My hair looks nice. My hair is frizzy, and that's why it is just in a ponytail out of my face. Y'all being like there's something behind me, like I can't see myself on the screen right now. Right there, I can see myself. I know what's behind me. First subbed in 2022. That's a hot minute ago. Thank you for sticking around. Have I ventured rabbit hole yet? No. I know like a little, like a few things here and there about Red Velvet, but not very much. Thank you for the congratulations. Yes. We made it. We made it to another mountain. Do I have any favorite songs or artists? How much time do you have? I have a whole channel where I'm like, would you like me to talk about some of my favorite songs and artists? And that's just like, that's me like trying to niche down. That's me trying to contain some of the chaos of it. I have a lot of favorite songs and artists, like thousands. Whenever you watch me, you think about Diane. Is it because I love her or because we have a vibe? I think that Diane and I definitely have a vibe. All right, go back. Have good luck with your work. Thank you for coming and supporting the channel. We got some more Bleach reactions. 3 years. Jeez, I don't like to think about how long I have my channel. It's been a while. Sometimes people are like, "You have so many videos. Can you point me in the direction of if you've done this?" And I'm like, "Fair. There's a lot of videos on the channel." uh, sorry, I'm distracted by. I'm like uploading stuff, so I'm also keeping an eye on things. I'm trying to multitask, but also I did get distracted by an actual squirrel earlier today, so like, know thyself. Do I speak other languages? Yes, I do. I speak several other languages. The main one is French. I talk to people in French all the time in the comments because Canadian. But I know lots of other languages too. I have a linguistics degree, so I not only spent a lot of time with a bunch of different languages, but I also took a bunch of language courses while I was at university to like learn other stuff. I look kind of like Sniper Wolf. I thank you. I'm gonna take that as a compliment and roll with it. Do I own any Twice albums yet? No, I don't. I don't own any K-pop albums actually because it's kind of a whole thing to get stuff delivered to Canada because of like fees and all of that. But also just because it's like I don't know, there's so much like weird consumer culture around that that it overwhelms me, okay? There's too many versions. There's too many different like things to choose from that every time I've even looked at buying an album, it overwhelms me and I just like back away. I can't do it. I want to be able to listen to music and maybe have some cute photo cards. That's it. That's all I want. Thank you for the congratulations. Hi. We're just hanging out. What awaits at 10K? I don't know. I have a few ideas about it, but that'll definitely be kind of one of the big ones for celebrating. I feel like I'm gonna have to start to think about it because I used to have so much more time between like milestones on the channel that I was like, I can think of some stuff, and now I'm like, oh no, I have to think more about it because I'm not very good at remembering that stuff exists when it's not in front of my face. So I'm like, I have time, and then it's time, and I'm like, oh no. But I feel like I'll probably plan out some stuff for 10K. We'll see what happens. Did I see the Coldplay Twice collab? I know of it. I know that it exists. I haven't listened to any of it or watched any of it, but I know of it. I'm always getting notifications now for Twice stuff. All my algorithms know that I like them. Thought I had way more. I mean, I have way more people who watch my videos regularly, to be fair, than 8K. They're just not subscribed. And you know what? That's okay. I don't really care about the numbers, so it's just fun. It's a fun little moment to be like, thank you, right? I think the milestones just give me like an opportunity to be like, thank you for like watching my stuff and hanging out and like putting up with the fact that I can get a little bit unhinged. Like I get really into analyzing something. So I think that that's more important. My lighting is going to be weird throughout this whole thing. Again, for anyone who's joining in now, I'm on like storm watch where I'm at, which is why I'm doing this now while I have like a few minutes, because I'm like, otherwise I'm gonna be just hunkering down for the weather. So the lighting is just gonna be all over the place and weird. Ain't much I could do about that. Ooh, someone here for NMIX stuff. Hello, newer. Thank you for joining for all of that. I'm excited for it too. I think that they have a lot of cool like potential for them, and I've heard lots of good things about them. I mean, anyone who's like, we're gonna do acapella, I'm like, that's like my whole background in like music stuff is you know, doing stuff like choir and acapella and opera and you know the more like intense music stuff. So I'm excited to get into all that stuff. Thank you for the congratulations. Hi. It's been cool though. It's been the last little bit. The channel has grown quite a bit, and I think that's a lot of fun. Thank you to all the people who are hanging out with me, because it's been a bit wild. Yeah, I'm looking at some of my stuff, but analytics wise, I do have like about 10,000 people who watch my videos regularly. To be fair, they're just not all subscribed, which again, fine. You can do whatever you want. The numbers aren't entirely, they don't matter all that much to me. Again, I'm just here to have fun. Just here to hang out. Which I find kind of interesting when people like they'll try to comment something like mean to me, and it'll be something about like numbers or the channel growing or whatever. I'm like, I am here to have fun. I'm here to like watch anime and nerd out about it and read comics and listen to music and have a good time. The fact that anyone wants to like hang out with me while I do that is like just like a nice bonus. I totally get not being able to keep up with everybody's videos. Same. I mean, I'm just trying to catch up on stuff. Like I've caught up on like Dreamcatcher stuff. I'm caught up on IU, P1 Harmony, but like the moment that I did, they're like, we're having a comeback, which I think is rude. I'm catching up on like 17 stuff. I'm just trying to like finish up some stuff so that I'm like I can have some extra like brain space that is not like keeping up with all of that. Not to mention like me trying to keep up with other stuff that like other people are making videos about. Though recently, most of my YouTube watching has been about like gardening and fiber crafts, and I kind of like that honestly. And all of the like weird stuff that's going on in the world, I've just like cleansed my social media a little bit to be like, I just need the peace of like gardening and people who like to make cute little like whimsical creatures out of like felt. You know what I mean? I just need that like that calming aura when I step onto the internet, because Lord knows it can be a lot going on. Have I watched the anime Konosuba? No, I have not. I need a shatter reaction. I mean, I have a the song I've reacted to. It's the showcase, right? Like they have like choreography that I think I haven't gone back to because I was doing there was other stuff going on in my life when that was happening. So that like whole comeback, I have like pieces missing, and I'm like, oh yeah, I need to go back and finish all that. Um, oh, loved my AT's killing voice. I AT's is a whole ride. I need to go back to them, but I've had like to take a beat because storyline stuff, and I feel like I'm intimidated myself a little bit about it. But I'm gonna get back on discography stuff for ATs. I've been having fun with their KQ fellas though. They're just so cute that I've been kind of chilling watching those. There's a bunch of stuff over on Patreon that of us just like hanging out, watch them be cute. Do I look at the viewing stats? Not a whole lot. I need to get back into subbing and like putting like translation captions on my videos. I used to do that quite a bit, and I need to get back into doing it, but I just have not. I need to make time for it. I'm working on like batch filming stuff. I've gotten better at kind of getting stuff recorded a lot more in advance. So hopefully, again, trying to free up some like space and brain power. Ooh, someone who found my videos for Late Back Camp. Interesting. That was a fun series. I can't wait to get into like season 2. It's gonna be so much fun. You've devastated your algorithm by autoplay. Okay, let's see. Top countries. United States, Canada, Philippines, United Kingdom, Indonesia. Those are the top ones. I always find that kind of interesting to be like, what are we dealing with? I like the age ranges too. Y'all are all around my age, mostly. And older. I like that we're just hanging out. Got into GFriend. Nice. I know like a little bit about GFriend. I feel like I have like a lot of like random knowledge of groups that are like second gen and third gen. I'm kind of all over the place. I don't know what gen GFriend is. And then like fourth gen, I was just like, I'm overwhelmed. There's so much going on. And also like doing videos and stuff, it kind of shifts the way that I listen to music. I like avoid stuff a lot more than I did before. Where I was like, I can casually listen to like a few songs by this artist. Whereas like now I'm like, nothing. I want nothing. I want to know nothing, just in case. So 20 years. What for me? They're all like 25 and up mostly. They're like 25 to 35. That's where most of y'all are, and older. Some of y'all are like in your late 50s, early 60s, and to that I say, welcome. I'm glad that I have the right energy for you. What's the most challenging thing for me? In what hobby? Like making videos? Uh, Remembering the last time I recorded something from a specific series or group. Because sometimes someone will be like, so are we still doing this? Because it's been like 3 months. And I'm like, oh, right. Like when the time blindness kicks in. And I just like forget how much time has passed. That's probably the biggest challenge. Is me just like, I just get caught up in doing something, right? Like I'm like watching a series or like an artist or whatever. And then I just like get caught up in hyperfixating. And then someone's like, so like, are we just not doing this anymore? I'm like, oh no, wait, we are. I just forgot that it existed for a hot minute. That's probably the biggest challenge. The British Blink, you have $2 in their mid-20s? Welcome. Aw. And you have grandkids? Cute. There's one subscriber who commented that they have like babies, like twins, and that they watch my videos. And like apparently I make their babies giggle and I'm like that's the best thing. Like who needs your numbers? Who needs your streams and all of those like your fun plaques? You can keep those. I make small children laugh. So who's really winning? I like it though. I like anytime someone's like, I had a good laugh and it was a fun time. I'm like, that's what my videos are for, right? I'm here to entertain and have a good time. It's not that deep. It's not serious. Do I ever get so bored that I fall asleep while watching it and quit? No. Um I don't think I've ever had something I don't fall asleep while watching stuff. Um it keeps me up. If I want to stay awake, I'll like read or watch something or listen to music. Like it's something that occupies my brain too much for me to relax. So I've never been so bored by something. I've definitely had things though where I'm like I can't be invested in this. Like the story. Usually it's like it's not so much boredom, it's like something about the story angers me and I'm like I can't watch this anymore. But I've never been so bored I fell asleep. I've been so tired that I just like fell asleep in the middle of something, but that's not the same thing. I'm very easily entertained, to be honest. Like just put some pretty lights in it, and that's enough. That'll entertain me. Um, I've accepted that I can be entertained by pretty much anything. I think also because I go into pretty much any piece of media being like I'm just here to like have a good time and to be entertained. So I don't get like super critical. Like I go in with the mindset of like I'm gonna have a good time, as opposed to like automatically having some kind of critique about it or whatever. Oh, is there like a bad story that I've watched that makes me think, why am I watching this nonsense? Um, I haven't had that so much with the channel because I haven't had anything where like I've started and then been like I don't want to finish it. Um, I think maybe the only thing is I started. Sorry to anyone. There's some of the people in the chat feel this, but I remember I started watching the filler stuff for Bleach, and I have not gone back to it. Part of that is because of new episodes coming out. Part of that is because I'm like watching it, and I'm like, I'm not as invested in this because I know that this has no bearing on the story, right? And like, is it a fun time? Yeah. Is there like a few things that are going on in like the Zanpakuto arc that are being pulled forward into like canon stuff? Sure. But I also know that like there's no stakes because they like the characters have to end up in the same place from like the previous arc to the next one. So I find that sitting down and convincing myself to watch those episodes is like a lot harder of a sell. Oh, it's no problem with the English. I also have lots of languages where I'm like, I don't speak it super well. English, honestly, not that super well. My brain is not good at processing languages. Ironically, given my background. I think that's why my background isn't languages, it's spite. Ooh, watching the old Time to Twice makes you calm down. I get that. There are certain things where I'm like, I'm gonna watch this because it calms me. I definitely have that with like some live streams for like certain idols or groups. I'm like this calms me down and like zens me. I don't fall asleep though. No magic today? I mean, I don't know if you can see it behind me. Technically there is, because that's my Doctor Who deck hanging out there. I don't know why the one video where my video I made of me first getting into magic for some reason is just like getting a bunch of views recently, even though it's like a year old. I don't know what algorithm thing happened, but it's pretty funny to just be like have all these people who are like saying stuff about me getting into magic, and I'm like, I don't know how to tell you that I bought so many more cards, so many more. Oh, you watched all the filler because you didn't understand? Yeah, filler is a whole thing. I understand why it's there, to be fair. It's just like again, like I think the main thing it's not so much like the story, it's like every time they're trying to like build up suspense in it, I'm like, I know that this doesn't mean anything because literally nothing is going to change at the end of this arc because that's the point. So I think that's what's like pulling me out of it. Do I like the new Doctor? Like the current one? Don't ask me which number it is because I have no idea. It's all like weird which number it is. Um, I haven't watched many episodes of the most recent Doctor. I watched some of his like first few seasons, but I um haven't like fully invested in it. I kind of dropped off on a lot of the new Doctor Who stuff. Do I have Japanese followers? I believe so. I know that I've definitely had people comment stuff in like Japanese, which I always find fun on account of like knowing some Japanese. It's been a hot minute since I've had to like speak in Japanese though. Thank you for the congratulations. Hello. I'm lucky to get into Magic the Gathering instead of Warhammer. No, I have heard that Warhammer is a commitment, isn't it? Okay, I was looking for Japan. Japan. Yes, I do have people from Japan. I don't know what number this is, but there are definitely people who watch me from Japan, so thank you. Appreciate that. From Indonesia. Yes, Indonesia is like the fifth highest number of views that I got. So there's quite a few of you. Ooh, we got someone from Russia. Hello. Oh my gosh, not you put me in the spot with Japanese. You're gonna put kanji in it? Don't do this to me. I'm like nervous now. 日本語少しわかります. I don't know kanji. I only know like little bits. I know like tiny like kanji is so much more complicated for my brain. I know hiragana and katakana. I've actually been like trying to practice my Japanese again because I don't like that a bunch of it is out of my head. But I used to like have to speak it quite often. I guess like a whole side conversation happening about Bleach in this. Like I wasn't paying attention. I don't have the whole chat, so I'm like I can't go back and figure out what's happening. But you know what? You do you. I support everyone just kind of hanging out. My lighting is so weird now. I'm just like noticing how dark it looks. Storms a brewing where I'm at, which means I actually do have to like I'm gonna have to like dip out at some point lighting my computer in front of me. But I won't be able to stay for like hours and hours like I tend to. I don't know why, like it takes me forever to convince myself to get on a live stream, and then the moment that I am, I'm like, this is my life now. But it's the way it is. I don't mind when people speak Japanese to me. It's just like I get nervous because it's been a minute. I was practicing. I've been trying to practice my Japanese again, but it's again. It's been like a few years. I used to do it. I grew up speaking some Japanese, and then when I went to university, I had like people. I had like friends and stuff that were from Japan, and I spoke with them all the time. So I had like some practice then, but it has been a while since I have been uh, at university. So I don't have the same practice that I was before. Yes, we're on the road for 10K, which is a little bit intimidating, honestly. But on the upside, once I do have 10K, I'm gonna unlock the new level of stuff on YouTube. So I'm gonna have like some new stuff that I have access to, including fundraisers and stuff, which I'm pretty excited for. That'll be fun to do some stuff that's like on YouTube for that. Hey, I always support somebody who just is like, I'm gonna derail into a conversation about Bleach. You know what? I have no judgment here for that. What's unexpected? It's always kind of fun to see like how there's like so many different conversations happening in chat. I'm also like multitasking. I'm trying to post videos for Patreon. Hello from the Philippines. Hi, hi. Oh my gosh, you're testing my knowledge of Japanese while I'm trying to multitask. I'm better at small talk. Kanji, yeah, kanji is just too complicated. I don't. There's too much going on. I understand that it's just like little pictures, but my brain doesn't think in pictures. So it's just I only know like the most frequent used ones. Ooh, Spanish. I know like the tiniest bit of Spanish. My mom knows Spanish. So I have like little bits and things that I learned as like a kid. But never was like she never like fully spoke Spanish to me though, so hello to India. Hi. I always like seeing where people are at. I think it's fun. Also, it's why I'm like I encourage people to like write comments in their native language. I have so many people who are like, sorry if my English is like not great. I'm like, just put in whatever your native language is. Like, I'll figure it out. I don't mind figuring it out. I'm a linguist. That's like a fun little puzzle that I wasn't expecting. Ooh, more from Spain. Fun. I'm like looking at all the places now. India is one of the top ones that I get viewers from. Brazil. Malaysia. German. There's quite a few Germanys. I know like I only know like bad words in German. I'm gonna be honest. My brother speaks German. And I'm just gonna let you guess why I know specifically cuss words when it comes to me speaking to my brother in German. Barely speak English, and that's my first language. English is difficult. It does like again, as someone who studies languages and like analyze them and like how they work, English is so complicated. And if there's a reason we like rarely use it as examples because we're just like, nope, because English is gonna break the pattern that we just figured out. So we can't use those examples. Do I know any Hindi? I don't think so. Not off the top of my head. It's difficult because there's like a mixture of languages in my brain. And it's possible that some of it is from different languages. And I just don't remember because my brain has just like latched onto it. I know I've studied Hindi in terms of like the structures and like different language patterns. But I don't know any off the top of my head. Because you always learn that first. Hey. I just feel like there's a certain impact to cuss words in German that just feels right. It's like it feels like I'm speaking from my soul. And I think that just is warranted in some circumstances. Yeah, Boston and Massachusetts. Yeah, that is kind of its own language, isn't it? There's definitely some interesting stuff. I've actually studied specifically like Boston English stuff and some of the patterns of it. Um, so I've done a lot of language study related things. Again, a while ago though. It's been a minute since I was in university, and I don't like to do the math to figure it out because it makes me sad. I've gotten to that point in my life. I don't know cuss words in a lot of languages. Just like some of them. Just some of them where I have not the best influences all the time. I love that, like, sometimes I speak like Yoda. I mean, sometimes the wires get crossed. I hate when my brain is like, I cannot remember what this word is in English, but I can remember it is in like Japanese or French. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense when I'm speaking English though. I can kind of get away with it in with French. If I think of the French word, I'm sometimes I can get away with it. Usually people I'm talking to know what I'm saying. But if it's in Japanese, they're like, you're in Canada. We don't know what that's we don't know. The Canadian accent. I find it so funny that people are like, your Canadian accent. And I'm like, this is like not even that bad. Like, this isn't even my like my accent at its height, its peak. Nor is it like I'm from Ontario, so my accent is already like not that interesting compared to other uh other accents in Canada. French subs. Some of my videos have French subs. Some people who watch my channel are French subs. I like when we just talk about stuff in French, which I find funny because people are like, "I'm from France," and I'm just like, "Je parle français." We have a fun time. Everyone always says the about. Y'all are like obsessed with that. That's not even like a fun Canadian word. You thought I was from Newfoundland? I mean, I do. Okay, valid. People in Canada think that I'm from Newfoundland, um, because my family is Celtic, so I have a little bit of a Celtic accent, which kind of like mixes with with my like Ontario accent. So valid. I don't have an. It's not like Irish though. I mean, my family is like Irish, but the main influence for me is Scottish. So why do Canadians say about like that? Uh, it's called vowel shift, vowel raising. So all of Canadians' vowels that are like those like o, like open low vowels, um, in Canada are like raised up into like more of like a middle part of our mouth. So they don't sit as far back in our mouth, and because of that, you get like a slightly different sound. But it also means that some of our like really high vowels, like e, drop, and we get like these like open sounding vowels instead. So it's basically like the way that Canadian English evolved in contrast to like British English or American English. Our vowels just like raised up, which is why you get something like about instead of like about. I don't even know how Canadian Americans say it. Y'all are like so funny to me. Like for every time an American is like, your Canadian accent is so funny and cute. I'm like, I also think that your American accent is funny and cute. Your vowels are just so wide and long. Like you sound like you need to speak from like your whole diaphragm, and I think that that is hilarious. So it's like in How I Met Your Mother. I don't know if that's like the best Canadian representation. But thanks. I mean, Canadians are everywhere in showbiz. You just don't know that they're Canadians. They're just cosplaying as Americans, so you don't know. Irish? What? What's wrong with my eyes and hair. I mean, the contrast isn't great on my videos, but I have like blue and green eyes, and my hair, in fact, does have like red in it. So yes, Irish, like very Irish, like my great grandpa got off the boat Irish. I mean, hey, if you think it's funny and cute, I just want you to know that I also think that your accent is funny and cute. Like even like New York State, right, which isn't like that far south from me. Some of the words that y'all say, I'm just like, why do you pronounce it like that? Why are your vowels like that? Um, are we going to start Nmix from the first album to the newest? Yes, I usually go back to the beginning. I like to see things chronological just because I otherwise it'll be chaos. I'll just jump around everywhere and I'll forget about discography things. So it's easier for me to just go chronological with the exception of when new stuff comes out. Sometimes I listen to that ahead because it's like a new thing. And I want to be there for like comeback stuff, but majority of the time I try to go from like start to finish. Your accent is because there's the German. I mean, for me too, I'm like I have like the mixture of like Celtic in the way that I talk. Um, I hear it a lot with like my R sounds. Like if I say like person, right? Like I can't say person, which is way closer to like a Canadian accent, but I just sort of like don't try. Or I say like H instead of H. It's just like some of the Celtic coming through. Or like my TH sounds. I don't make them like th. I make them like behind my front teeth so they come up more like a tuh. So, hi K Ross. Hi. Thank you. Wasn't expecting to see you. Just sliding in. We're talking about accents, so you can be part of that. The global audience. Have I heard the Coldplay We Pray with twice? I haven't heard it. I know of it, but I haven't listened to it. Do I know how many languages do I know? Um, how much time do you have? And what are we talking about? No. Um, we got like English, French, Japanese, uh, Irish, Welsh, Scottish Gaelic, some ASL. Uh, there's some Spanish in there too. I can have like some small talk and like Mandarin, kinda. Um, so there's a lot of mixtures in there. Chaos, I can believe you. The number of times they're like, "Hey, you're English," and I'm like, "Nope." The moment that I heard you speak, I was like, "That's a Welshman." Continue in Japanese. No thanks. My knowledge would go out real fast. It would be like I would be like, "Io genki desu ka?" And then I'd be like, "I'm out." That's all I got. uh, ooh, Massachusetts accent than learning French. That's an interesting combination. Which French? My French is already wonky. I have so many cultural influences on my French too. Cause like Canadian French because I'm Canadian, European French because that's what we teach in schools, and then Vietnamese French because my aunt is from Vietnam. So my French doesn't have a geography. It's all around the world, because why not? Genki desu yo. So desu. I'm practicing. I'm trying. I'm trying to get back into my Japanese. So, working on it. One step at a time, right? Duolingo French. Who knows? Duolingo French is pretty funny. Duolingo in general, it's like we're gonna fixate on this like one thing, and that's gonna be like the whole conversation, which I find pretty funny. Like in if you do like Duolingo Welsh, get ready to talk about dragons. Drag is gonna be like the most used noun that you know. And then if you do Scottish Gaelic, it's Einbrew. Like all the time. Like that's like the one thing that you're gonna talk about. Well, because my Japanese. My Japanese is all over the place. It's like, okay, probably. It comes out a little bit because when I'm doing stuff that is Korean, I usually will like default to be like, I'm gonna pronounce this the way that I would in Japanese and hope for the best. Hope that I'm close enough. Even though obviously they're different. But I'm like, I don't know the sound system quite well enough to like guess anything other than just like go with Japanese. When am I going to Japan? I have no idea. I would love to. I think it would be so much fun to go to Japan. But I don't have any direct plans on that one. Yes, I mean to be fair, yes, Kairos, there is a dragon involved with Wales. I just find it funny that like out of everything in Welsh culture, Duolingo is like you need to know what drag means. Like early like first lessons, they're like drag is a very important noun for us to know. And it's like you need to know how to say drag dwi. Obviously, that's like the most important piece of the Welsh language that you need to be able to speak. I think it's funny to like look at Duolingo stuff for languages that I know because I'm like I want to know what you think is important for a beginner. So it's funny though, like I think that so many people are like intimidated by Welsh, and then I'm like, it's not that difficult once you get like some of the basics down. It looks more intimidating than it is. To be fair though, my Welsh is like also weird. I don't know any just like language normal. All of my languages are strange because I know Northern Welsh. So I already have times where like someone is speaking like Southern Welsh and I'm just like, huh? So but it's hey, they're just like I like that there's like a nice collective though. And for anyone who is like I would like to comment on your videos in like whatever your native language is, again, go for it. Open invitation. I am never upset about someone give me a little puzzle to figure out whatever it is. I'm always down to learn some new languages and to spend my free time on that. I mean, that's one of my favorite things. I have, a whole degree where I was like, I want to figure out how languages work so I can just like have a fun time and learn them. Cause I don't know. I mean, hey, I have like a whole channel that's like talking. I mean, it's kind of like a specific geography, but it's like I talking about media from like other places and from other cultures, and I find that fascinating. I like that languages are a way for us to like connect between those cultures, and like you can learn about a culture by understanding how the language works. Like you can figure out like what is kind of like important to that culture through like how their language works and how they use it, which is always really fun. Duolingo is okay for someone who like discovered Duolingo like super early on because again, linguist. So whenever there's something that is about like learning languages or technology and stuff interesting, it has evolved so much. Like it is so much better now than it was like 5 years ago, let alone like 10, right? Like going back to like early days. And for something like French, it's like a lot easier to like have lessons for that because it's like a way higher like frequency. If you get to something like Scottish Gaelic, like it's way less frequency and it's like a lot harder to kind of justify putting a bunch of like funding into those lessons as opposed to like something else. Mother of Dragons. Have I watched Game of Thrones? Yes, I have watched Game of Thrones. Yeah, so see, here's the thing, like some of Welsh is kind of like bus, right? Like, or it's like Newer, right? But I think like also that's like a difference with like Southern Welsh versus Northern Welsh. Like I'll listen to someone speak like Southern Welsh, and I'm like, this sounds like you're just like slipping in to English with like a heavier Welsh accent, whereas like Northern Welsh feels like a little bit more, uh, like it has like less of those borrowings in it, but also like some of it's like, hey, we need to just borrow this word from English because Welsh has had a difficult run of just existing as a language, and because of that, we haven't developed some of the newer updated terms for it because like it didn't have like a natural like progression of like the language like evolving to include those technologies, right? How you can learn fast just by listening. I mean, I'm an auditory learner, so I have fun just kind of listening to stuff. I'm pretty good at like accents. So I find it like a lot easier to like hear a language and kind of understand how the sounds kind of fit. Like I like learning the sound system of a language before I start learning like words because I want to be able to parse what someone is saying to me in a way that makes sense, as opposed to like learning like individual words or like reading or whatever. You pick up a lot of words from like Twice stuff. There's definitely like a lot of Korean in here that I'm just like, oh yeah, I know like the basics of what that means. Aw, people who can speak multiple language have superpowers. I mean, it's fun though. I think that a lot of people kind of feel like they have to, like there's like an obligation or they get intimidated because it's a whole language, but I feel like you just have fun with it. Like just see it as like a fun like little like puzzle game. That's how my brain thinks of it. Languages are just fun puzzles and patterns that I get to like solve for. And it's always fun to like meet someone who speaks that language and see the way that they like their demeanor shifts the moment that you start to speak that with them. Like people that I met who are like Japanese and I can like ask them like some basic stuff. I used to. Again, my Japanese, I'm working on it. I'm trying to like polish it back up. But I used to be able to have like conversations with people just casually. And to see someone like in Canada who's like traveled here from Japan to be able to then like speak with somebody in like their native language, just like the way that they shift for that is always fun. Yes, I have Northern Welsh. That was just like my teacher was from Northern Wales, so you process so many languages. Mostly because oh, there's a lot of crossover with languages. Like I can know like Irish and like Scottish Gaelic. There's like a ton of crossover between those two languages. There's just like some like few like little changes here and there, so it's like not that big of a shift. It's like same with like Bretons. Like it's something that I can kind of understand as someone who knows like French and Welsh, which is like those like two kind of core languages to that. So there's a lot of crossover. Even like French, someone like starts speaking Spanish to me, I can kind of keep up with what they're saying because there's enough crossover that I can fill in the blanks. Ooh, Hindi. Maybe I'll just have to like go and learn some Hindi. Come back and impress. Oh. Ooh, singer from Hong Kong. Sure. I'm always down for some recommendations. I don't know when I'll get to a bunch of stuff, but um definitely as the channel grows, I'm looking at adding some other stuff to it. I'm sure I'll see it on your channel, Ross. I'll see it. Because I do get notifications and what have you. Ooh, short film music video with nonverbal acting. That does intrigue me. I do like a good storytelling. Yeah, you can send it to me on Discord. Sounds good. Hey, your real name is Welsh. My family name is Welsh. So no, superficial sacrificial spaghetti. C'est très bien. Ouais. Pretty. Well, I'm gonna have to leave soon though. I'm sorry, but I we got thunderstorms rolling in. where I'm at. So I gotta make sure that I shut stuff down because oh my god, if something happens to my computer because of power going out, it's gonna cause me a heap of trouble. Hi, thank you. I'm glad that you like the videos. I have fun with them. AT stuff. Yes, lots of stuff coming. I mean, I have a bunch of KQ Fella stuff. But yes. Sayonara. What time is it here? 1:30 p.m. If you're wondering why it is all dark and gloomy, it's because there are thunderstorms are rolling in. Yes, I have to go. Why should I have not used sayonara? But should I have used like what? I'm trying to think of all of them. What's the one where it's like, oh, ittikimasu? You're testing my knowledge. I'm sorry. My Japanese is what it is. Yes. Bye-bye before everything gets dark and gloomier. I feel like the video's gotten progressively. Yeah, I'm like, I didn't want to say like matane because like, is that too informal? I don't want to be rude. I already have it where like sometimes I'm like speaking to someone and instead of saying like hi, I'm like and I'm like, oh wait. I'm not leaving for a long time. I'm just trying to be polite. I'm just trying to like not be too informal. But yes, I have to go before all of the storms hit me. I hope that everyone else is doing good, that the weather is nice where you're at, whether it's spring or fall, wherever you are, and that you know, do something that makes you smile and laugh today, because that's, you know, it's important too. I know there's lots of stuff going on in the world, but you know, just take a minute and do something for yourself that makes you happy, okay, whatever it is, and take good care of yourself. And I will see you guys soon. Ooh! As I get kicked out of my own live on my phone, that's probably like the moment. Okay, one of my like notifications for sorry, my weather, I'm getting notifications about bad weather, so I'm definitely gonna have to leave now before my phone goes weird again. Bye. Bye.